BFA St. Albans for an enticing matchup between the Bobwhites and the Burlington Seahorses. Alongside me is Bryce Batchelder, and let's kick it over to him for the starting lineups for BFA.
All right, thanks, Landon. For BFA, number 10, Noah Earl. Number 12, Connor Leach. 24, Charlie Yates. 34, Thomas DeMar. And 52, Justin Brown. The Bobwhites are coached by Tristan Menard. And for Burlington Seahorses, number 3, Chan Niall. Number 12, Kim Nguyen. Number 14, Tony Vo. Number 21, Nor Niall. And number 32, Dylan Grimm. And the Seahorses are coached by Tom Barron.
And as the Seahorses win the tip, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors, Northwestern Orthopedics, Collins Pearly Sports and Fitness Center, Barrett Ford, JC Image, and Handy Toyota. If your business would like to become a sponsor for Northwest Access TV sports coverage this winter, please contact 802-782-8676. And just a reminder, Northwest Access TV is a nonprofit organization. If you're enjoying the sports coverage throughout the year, please consider making a donation.
Couple three-point attempts so far for both teams, both rimming out.
No, Earl playing solid defense, makes Burlington commit a carry here early.
There's a pun in there. Committing it early because it was Noah Earl with the stellar defense.
Classic
Leave it
Bryce.
to the dad on the call. I'll get those.
Thomas DeMar looking for that screen. Gets it. In the lane, pump fake out to Earl. Extra pass. In the lane, Justin Brown's floater's good.
Oh, some really good ball movement there for the Bobwhites. Started down low with Yates. And I mean, Burlington just collapsing defense down on the opposite block, but left two other guys wide open.
And another, it's going to be an offensive player control on the Seahorses. Me and you have been talking, I've been watching some film on the Seahorses, and their help side is not normally there, but right there, it was there too much, allowing that Justin Brown layup.
Well, there's always a balance you sort of have to strike when you're playing defense. You try to force the team into the lower percentage shot, and if you leave a guy wide open under the basket, odds are he's going to make it.
And another turnover for Burlington's Tony Vo as he commits the travel. Thomas DeMar calling out for Kentucky. A little bit loud, was it?
We're fine. We're good.
As DeMar drains a three off the Yates feed. Wonderful 5-0 start here for St. Albans 2 minutes in.
Well, I always look forward to these games where the Chittenden County teams kind of come into St. Albans, and we get to see how BFA stacks up. And right now, they are looking fantastic.
And wow, that's a tough call to make there. Tristan Menard, and the whole bench is calling for a double dribble, but I guess he got stripped. Justin Brown came up the rebound, and Grimm stole it from him, and then a block was called on him as well. So far this year, according to Huddle, as a three is launched by number 12, Kim Nguyen. BFA's best quarter is the first quarter as they're shooting nearly 60% from the field. There's no Earl gets stripped, but he keeps it. Swings it over to Leach. His three's up, no good. Rebounded for Vo.
Well, I'm willing to bet that's when legs are still the freshest. You can shoot your best when your legs are under you. And also, teams haven't quite adjusted and figured them out yet, right?
And that one's down the hatch for Knoll. Cuts the deficit to just 2 here.
I feel like we talk about this most games, but Niall, one of the things Burlington certainly has is height on most positions here. And when you have a tall guy like Niall who's able to hit a three, it can be devastating to defenses.
Yeah, we made the call with Milton earlier this season, and Colin Mathis was that player. Another three launched by the Seahorses, and they get it to fall. Silences the crowd, 6-5 with 4:30 left to play. Seth Richards did check in for Brown.
It's the thing, 2 quick 3 balls and different game.
Well, that's exactly what Metro teams like to do. They're all about offense. It's just if the Bobwhites can compete with that or not. As Tommy's step back jumper is good from about 12 feet out. That's his patented shot for sure. I think that's his second basket today.
Yep, it sure is.
And it's going to be a team turnover for the Seahorses.
And DeMar actually has 5 of BFA's 7 points.
Senior leadership. And let's see if BFA can give it to Seth, as they do, as he has a pretty big height advantage. And they're going to call it a jump here. That was a good call.
Good call on that one. I'm wondering if Burlington may eventually switch defenders on Seth here. Wondering if Niall might be a little bit of a better matchup defensively.
And the ball is going to stay here with the Bobwhites after the inbounds pass by Leach is no good to Yates. Got a pretty packed student section over there, and I think it's jersey night.
It's the fullest section in the house here.
Leach misses his second three-point attempt tonight. Lead is 7-6 for the Bobwhites with 3:30.
BFA going under some screens here. If Burlington hits a couple threes, they might need to think about either switching on screens or trying to fight over.
Yeah, what they're supposed to do is what Yates just did there was hedge, as Dylan Grimm knocks down the Seahorses' third basket.
That was a long 2, right?
Yes.
Foot on the line.
Dylan Grimm is definitely one of Burlington's top scorers. Very good footwork in the post. And they're going to call him with a player control. It's going to go down the other way.
Yeah, it looks like BFA just never quite got set up in their offense that time. Burlington playing a bit of a zone there, but really kind of showing on the, I guess from the camera angles, left side of the floor. And I think confused BFA a little bit. They tried to look in the high post, but nothing ever developed.
Liam Horgan checks in for Yates, and Frazier gets into the lane, kicks it over, extra pass. Horgan with the rebound. DeMar's going to go coast to coast, gets the basket to go, and he's going to go to the line and shoot just one here to try to make it the old-fashioned three-point play. Great take. Has a chance to put the Bobwhites up 2 here. The Bobwhites are not a great team from the line, as they shoot just 43.8% as DeMar knocks that one down.
Beat the odds there, DeMar. Beat the odds. DeMar now with 8 of BFA's 10 points to start the game.
As Frazier gets into the lane,
nice split.
His floater's up and good.
That's the thing, when you have solid footwork, you can kind of split defenders there. Yep, we're going to get a call there on Yates. He threw that arm out there to clear some space. That's a good call.
Yeah, definitely extended his arm a bit too much there.
But on Frazier's score, I mean, it was a mix of footwork, and also he kind of had that above-the-head rip-through going on that just split 2 defenders and gave him a nice open look at the rim.
For the Seahorses, Charit Zingchu checks in for Tony Vu. Good D by DeMar. And a long 3 from nor Nile, and the crowd's letting them know.
It's the advantage of having the crowd back this year.
Yes. Yates and Richards check out. Brown and Leach come back in. Talking to Coach Menard before the game. Their practices, they're coming off a 17-game stretch where they haven't played in 17 straight games. Or, sorry, days. They haven't had a game in 17 days. And Earl's going to launch a three and make it. He's been phenomenal. His last game against Milton, he piled it up with 17 points. Starting off well here. The match no good. Offensive rebounds up. And Sinchu's going to go to the line and shoot two.
Zingu.
Okay.
Charite Zingu. That BFA foul on number 20, Liam Horrigan. His first, team's fourth. Zingu hits the first.
Second one rattles around, but Grimm comes up with the offensive rebound. Flies by Earl. Back at the rim, no good. Another offensive rebound. Second chance points are going nuts. Miles Yope drains the three in the corner. Assist to Grimm.
What a play by Grimm. That's what hustling gets you. I mean, the presence of mind. He was falling down.
And
he kept that foot, he kept his knees up so he wouldn't get that travel call, and was able to find an open guy in the corner.
Very athletic play. And Liam Horgan comes up with a steal. He's pushing in transition, loses it. And the Seahorses get it now with just 28 seconds and a 1-point lead, 14-13. Frazier. Mohamed Moje. 15 seconds, a three from Earl. He'll drain that one as well. 2-point lead with 8 seconds left here in the first quarter. Frazier, three at the buzzer, no good. 16-14, Bobwhites lead after one. So Bryce, this is BFA's first Metro game of the year. First time they're in Metro since like 2003, if I'm not mistaken. They're looking pretty good as far as, the pace.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. These Metro teams are going to score.
For sure.
I think it's a mix of can you score along with them, but also love to see their defense step up a little bit. I think they're going to have to guard the three-point line a bit more than what they're doing. I had mentioned them kind of going under screens. When you go under a screen, it gives an offensive player enough space to get a three-point shot up, and as we've seen, Burlington can hit some threes. So they might have to start switching on those screens so that the player is never open, or they have to try to fight over the screen. For BFA, Thomas DeMar,
solid.
kept them in the game. He had 8 of their first 10 points.
And then Noah Earl has chipped in 6.
Noah Earl, quiet for the first 7 minutes, 6-7 minutes of that quarter, and then all of a sudden 2 quick three-pointers. He has 6 points now.
And on the year, he's averaging 6.8 points a game, so he's just about near his average. And DeMar on the year is averaging 9 points. So,
well, let's hope that scoring doesn't stop for them. That's the thing. Let's hope they don't just hit their average and trail off, because then we're gonna have to see Justin Brown and Seth Richards and Yates get some more points here. The rebounding, though, Burlington, Dylan Grimm with 3 rebounds already, and we saw that play towards the end of the end of the quarter. That offensive rebound and kick out to Jope as he was falling down.
And good, solid defense from the Bobwhites there. Gets them a jump ball. It's going to be St. Albans' possession. Try to drive into two fellas. Brown was there. Over to Earl. He'll try another one. Bottoms! 19-14, BFA leads. Just 30 seconds into the second.
So we have our answer. He's not stopping at his average.
That's good. This is exactly what
They'll take
BFA
that.
will need if they're going to do anything down the stretch. And his long arms, they're there with his 2.8 steals a game.
You know, we keep talking about height around the outside. You might not necessarily see it against Burlington tonight, but especially against other Franklin County teams, you know, Noah Earl is probably going to be one of the taller guys on the floor. And again, to be able to hit bombs like that
Yes.
just makes matchups so tough.
Well, he's not only tall, but he's very lengthy.
And very athletic.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw it, but he almost yammed one on Milton in their last game. It was pretty exciting. Brown's going to reach in.
I appreciate the silent J that you
Yes.
just had there on yammed. It's like a Yaz flute.
Yep. It's going to be the 5th team foul here for the Bobwhites. 2 more there puts the Seahorses in the bonus. It's going to be also Justin Brown's first. Expect a lot of down screens in the Seahorses offense, and now it's going to be another foul. Has to be less hands and more with the body if you're going to stop these drive attempts.
That one is on number 12, Connor Leach. BFA's 6th team foul. Next foul, and Burlington will be in the bonus for the rest of the first half.
Wide open shot for Nor Nile. Gives Burlington another bucket. Earl taking the screen. Dishes it to Yates. And he gets fouled. He's going to the line to shoot 2. Yates is very good at drawing contact.
Well, I don't think he had to draw that one. He got it straight to the face on that one.
Yeah, Frazier really wanted to send that one to right in front of us, actually.
But what a find from Noah Earl.
Yates finishes the first one. The inside joke within the team is Yates' shooting ability, but definitely proving everybody wrong. It's Tanner Smith's going to check in for his first action.
So Earl almost broke some ankles on that play there, on the defender on the outside.
Had him trip in.
Yeah. A nice shovel pass down to Yates.
And the Seahorses were not ready for that rebound, but Yates misses the second one. On the floor is Yates. He comes up with it. And we're going to get I
think we're going to get a jump ball.
Yes. Love the energy. This
hustle
could be,
from Yates.
Yates is not one to be messed with, for sure.
He's also got to keep that under control at the
Yes.
same time.
As I saw Wednesday night against MVU, a technical can totally change and swing the momentum of any game. A lot of down screens for the Seahorses. And we're going to get a player control on a screen. It's going to come back this way. 2016 BFA leads with 6:30 left. Grimm's going to check back in for Maddox Webster.
It's Webster's first personal foul. Team's 4th.
Earl facilitating the offense while DeMar gets a break. Earl's a very capable one-on-one player. ISO heavy. Horgan rips through, gets in the lane, kicks out to Smith.
So Burlington, this possession, they're doing a really good job of anticipating where the ball is about to move. And they're jumping the screens that BFA is trying to set before BFA is even, well, set with those screens. So that's why BFA just hasn't gotten an open look here so far.
Well, what's more impressive is that BFA's not, they're waiting for the good look, right? They're not forcing it.
Well, and that's the advantage of Vermont high school basketball. There's no shot clock. You can be as patient as you want.
as Yates goes into Dylan Grimm. And Dylan Grimm's going to get called with a technical as Yates and him were getting at it. Definitely not the WWE, but
That was a bit of a takedown going on there.
that was very
Put it
interesting.
lightly.
It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to go towards BFA. But the technical is going to go on number 32, Dylan Grimm. That was very interesting. We got the County Courier right in front of us. He's writing that one down for sure. Thomas DeMar is going to check in for Noah Earl, and he's going to take the 2 free throws that you get from a technical shot. Yates' aggressiveness got them the tech. Earl nails the first, DeMar nails the first one, puts him up by 5. Second one bounces in.
DeMar now in double digits for the night, 10 points already in the first half, though. These are his first points of the second quarter. He scored the other 8. Well, 8, like we had mentioned before, 8 of BFA's first 10 points.
So I'm looking over at your cheat sheet. Four players have scored for BFA. How many points is DeMar and Earl responsible for?
19
Out of the 22.
out of the 22. Justin Brown with 2, and Yates has hit a free throw.
Yates is now working in the post with a smaller defender.
Oh,
Tanner Smith with the turnover, trying to feed it down to.
I mean, it was the right idea, in all honesty.
It just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my keys for the Bobwhites, is definitely attack the paint. As Chun shot no good, gets the offensive rebound, passes it out to his brother. Yates playing some stifling defense, finds a cutting. And wow, a lot of offensive rebounds here for the Seahorses, but it's going to go the Bobwhites as it went out of bounds. About 4 offensive rebounds there for the very tall Seahorse team.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, I think BFA's really got to try to, something they got to concentrate on. Be it, Burlington, especially the second quarter, they've gotten a number of second chance opportunities. I noticed Seth Richards in now, gives BFA a little bit more height. Hopefully can gobble up a few more of those rebounds.
Yeah, Seth Richards is one of the players recovering from COVID, so he hasn't been able to practice as much, and Tristan Menard is going to call a timeout.
And health and safety protocols.
Yeah, the new 5-day rule, and then, but the struggle is, the 5 days is easy, right? But then they have to go and get cleared from a professional. But they can't get in anywhere, is what Coach Menard's been saying.
Well,
we got 22-16, Bobwhites lead with 4:20 left. It's been, as we mentioned, Thomas DeMar, Noah Earl. Then in the beginning of the season, the Bobwhites have not been able to hit those threes, and that was their worry. But now, I mean, Earl's shown it. They can hit threes.
Right? I mean, that's the thing. We're a month into the season now, right? Like, guys have their legs. They've got more practice. They've got more game time. So seeing a few more threes, hopefully this isn't just the threes were front-loaded this game and then they, fall back to the mean the rest of the game or revert to the mean. But so far, BFA is looking good. Also, props to their defense. No Burlington player has scored more than 3 points. Their scoring's been really spread out, but no one has scored more than 3 points individually.
Well, it's 3 players with a 3? As Yates tries to feed it to Richards, and it's going to be another jump ball.
That was solid defense by Burlington down low, not giving Yates any type of opportunity to try to get a look or an open pass out of there.
Yeah, if he had the right angle, better look to Richards, man. He might have caught a body.
Yeah. Well, and Yates got out of the lane just in time. He was close to a 3-second violation. Just had the left foot in, but that's enough.
And they're going to reverse the call. Was not switched, or they did not see the board, because it does say Seahorse ball. We're going to get a quick swing and top of the key screen. Good strip from Horgan. He's going to go all the way now. Richards comes up with the offensive rebound as Horgan missed the layup. Floater from Charlie. Falls. Pushes to lead to 8 points now.
That's Horgan's second steal of the game.
He is super strong and athletic and always has his hands in the passing lane and around the balls. That time he got scored on by Tommy Vu, senior.
Oh, and that was a good take by Vo. It's one of those you just...
Ooh, DeMar in the lane. And he's going to get called with a charge. Great take by Kim Nguyen. Got hit in the face a bit. Mari Frazier is going to check.
I think Nguyen is bleeding. He touched, his nose is bleeding. He touched his nose with his hand. Was holding his hand out. One of his teammates thought that he was holding it out for a high five. So
oh boy, we love to see it.
High-fived the nosebleed hand. Caught Nguyen off guard.
And Frazier ends up with it.
Good back door by Frazier.
Leads to a wide open corner three for Sean Noel, and he's back on the floor diving for loose balls.
That pass didn't pay off, but that was a really nice backdoor by Frazier. You know, recognized that I think it was Earl who was guarding him, went over for the double team and the trap, and so he just slipped it and went straight to the basket.
Yeah, high
Good
IQ
read
play
by Frazier. Oh, much like that one, but Frazier with his hands knocks that pass away.
As Seth Richards plays good defense, comes up with the defensive rebound. And Yates dribbles it off of Noel. Got 2 minutes left in the first half. Bobwhites lead 24-18 as Vo's three is no good. And right into the bleachers is Sean Noel. He's going to get up okay. Good effort. He's been all over the place tonight, for sure.
Well, I mean, you're down 6 now. You've been down this whole quarter. You got to try to make those hustle plays. You know, if you're Burlington, I think the goal is, can you get it within, 2 or 4 now going into halftime with only 2 minutes left in this first half? I'm still going down by 6 is not bad, but still try to close that gap a little bit before halftime.
It does look like Burlington's in a zone as Earl tries to feed it back to Richards, and he was not ready for it. As Frazier's in the corner, DeMar in his face. Good help side from Charlie. It's going to come back to the Bobwhites as Frazier turns it over. Menard's going to call most likely his last time out of the half. I think it's a perfect moment to thank our sponsors, Northwestern Orthopedics, Collins Purley Sports and Fitness Center, Barrett Ford, JC Image, and Handy Toyota. If your business would like to be a sponsor for Northwest Access TV sports coverage this winter, please contact 802-782-8676. Just a reminder, Northwest Access TV is a non-profit organization, and if you're enjoying the sports coverage, please consider making a donation. Bryce, what do we got for stats from both squads, leading scorers?
Well, first of all, it's always a good time to thank our sponsors and to make a donation to your local nonprofit. For scoring for BFA, Thomas DeMar still leading all players with 10 points, 8 of them in the first quarter. Noah Earl with 9. And then for Burlington, scoring has been really spread out. No one has scored more than 3 points. Niall, Nguyen, and Jope all with 3 points for Burlington.
That's good. Still need someone to take over this game. Good give and go from Richards and DeMar, and he gets it to go. And Yates is there for the steal, and it's going to go off of him. Love that sneaky play. Burlington was not ready for that. Is BFA. Looks like they're doing a little bit of a full court. Just pressure. Not anything serious.
1 minute left in the first half here.
Earl on ball. Always loves to do that reach around steal.
Yeah,
Big risk.
It's kind of a love-hate relationship with that because, you can poke it from behind, but that also means that your man beat you.
For sure.
And the goal is to not let your man beat you to begin with.
It's really beneficial if you have a shot blocker like they do.
For sure.
And
nice back door.
And it's blocked by DeMar. 40 seconds left. Vu gets in the lane. Hand in the face from DeMar. Still gets it to go. 30 seconds. 26-20 BFA leads.
Vo is the first player with more than 3 points for Burlington, now with 4.
Good pick and roll. He's going to get called with a travel. Just 20.8 seconds left. Like you said here, love to get it to within 2 or 3 or 4.
Yep, now it's 3 or 4. They're going to try to hold for the last shot here.
Definitely those little mistakes from BFA hurt you for sure. Just 5 seconds left here. Let's see what Frazier does. Cuts it down in the wall, and they're not even going to get a shot off as Earl tips it. Great defense from the Bobwhites gives them a 6-point lead at halftime, 26-20. What'd you see there from the Bobwhites this half that, has been really impressive?
Yeah, well, the three-point shooting calmed down a little bit in the second quarter, but I mentioned between quarters that I need to see their defense start to step up, and they really did that in the second quarter. Made it really tough for Burlington to score. So, and now, they go into halftime with a 6-point lead, so it's working so far.
All right, let's take a quick break, grab some water, and we'll be back just a bit before the third quarter starts. We're back at BFA St. Albans. We got 26-20 BFA leads, and we'll start with possession here. A little update on the Metro standings. They got Rice, St. Johnsbury, CVU, Burlington, Essex, SB, Burlington, Colchester, and Mount Mansfield in that order. As Yates with a good take, a little bit hard off the rim. However, Rice is 5-0 on the season. St. J is 4-0. BFA's down there in 7th at 3-1, but they have not played a Metro team yet. There's Yates, and he's going to get called with an offensive foul.
That's his second of the game.
Probably just came down with his left arm or something. The crowd was loving it until they saw the call.
It's a nice take regardless. Unfortunately, it just doesn't count.
Yeah, those are always tough. Those little momentum swings. But Burlington's 4th. They're 2-3 and 2-1 in the Metro. So they beat Colchester. And we're going to get another one. Another offensive on Tony Vo, as he gave Connor Leach a little shove.
I mean, you call it on one side, you got to call it on the other. It's both players extended that arm to push off, and you got to call it.
Well, I love the aggressiveness. I'd rather a team be too aggressive than not aggressive at all. There's Brown in the paint, inside-out game, no good as Frazier comes up with a steal. Pass up to Vo.
That was all started by Frazier putting his hand in to knock it away to begin with.
And at the rim, Noah Earl finishes to put it up 8. Good feed by Justin Brown. Steal from him as well. Dylan Grimm wanted a call, but did not get it.
Earl now with 11 points and 4 rebounds on the game.
Some solid numbers. He's averaging 6.5 rebounds a game this year's. Frazier with the snatchback, no good. It's going to stay here with his Seahorses, I guess. Sorry, because I don't think you can call a charge if it doesn't have the ball. Something like that.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody was necessarily standing still. I wasn't sure that ball went off BFA. But I don't think it was totally clear either way. I know that the baseline ref was kind of asking the ref on the outside if he saw it. And I think that's just a tough call.
Yeah,
Tough
he was
one to
over.
call. You're just not sure. I'm sure if this was NBA level, they'd send it to New York for replay. But thank goodness we don't need to wait through replay reviews in high school.
Oh, these games are long enough. No, they're good. A 3 by Niall, no good. And Yates is pushing it. Good spin move on number 21, and he's going to finish at the rim. 10-point lead for the Bobwhites with 5 3/4 to go. Brothers working on the pick and roll.
Good denial defense by BFA. Forces Coach Tom Barron to call a timeout to avoid the 5-second call.
What the Bobwhites do very well is when they're up, or even when they're down, the energy that they bring from the bench
Absolutely.
kicks over to the crowd, which then kicks to on the floor. And Menard's rule is anytime the ball's dead, everybody has to be saying it. Players on the floor and on the bench, and it's definitely shown.
That's a great rule, and why that matters is that everyone's yelling dead ball, and you could see that BFA's defenders then switch position. I'm talking about the off-ball defenders, so that their arms are all in the passing lane, so that I'm not sure who had the ball up top.
Niall.
Niall, so that he just doesn't have an open look, right? If you're BFA and you're trailing your defender, then it bails Niall out. But Brown, you can see Brown and Yates both sideways to their defender. Normally, I'm sure if your kids or you've been around the game since you're a little kid, right, you always hear stay between the basket and your man. But
50-50.
when you're doing denial, you're between the ball and your man.
That's when you're 50-50.
And so that's where Yates and Brown both turned and forced Burlington's coach to call a timeout to avoid the 5-second call and a turnover.
And I think you get, 3 timeouts in the second half?
Oh, I can never keep that straight in high school.
Yeah, I think it's different in high school than it is Mini Metro. Mini Metro, you have to use all 3 timeouts in the first. If you don't, no matter what, you only get 2.
It's sort of like football.
Yeah. That was a good take by Frazier, but he had it stripped. There's a corner 3 from Niall. No good.
You're getting a workout here tonight.
I am for sure, as Leach tries to counter. Could not get it to go. Still a 10-point lead for the Bobwhites with 5 minutes here. Maddox Webster checks in for the Seahorses as Frazier goes baseline, hits the backboard, and they still end up with possession.
Remember, side and bottom of backboard still in bounds.
And Tony Vo gets the friendly roll just from a little 8-footer. Good feed to Brown, but gets it tipped from Chung. Brown gets it back, takes the contact, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up, and gets pinned from Niall.
Oh, wow.
That was a great block.
Looked like a nice block to me.
Yeah, the backboard must have got him going up or something.
Maybe, the body, I guess. I mean, the refs were, the
maybe
other
he
side
called
of the
on
floor.
somebody else.
Maybe.
Has to be. It all started with the off-ball movement, right? DeMar got in trouble, double teamed, Leach moved, Brown moved, and kept fighting down low. And second chance, it's now at the line. Made the first one.
Well, and props to Brown there for that, getting his own rebound from underneath the hoop. He now has 4 rebounds on the night.
And makes both free throws.
And 4 points to match his 4 rebounds.
So it looks like the Seahorses have all their players ready to go tonight. BFA's out 4 players with health and safety protocols. Missing one of their better scorers, and Will Hughes at 6 points a game, and pretty close to another 5-second call there.
Did Woj tweet that out? It's official.
I wish.
It's not official till Woj tweets.
That's hilarious.
Sure is, pal. Sure is.
I don't think many people know who Woj is, but that's really
That's fine. Okay, we'll leave
a
it
good
that
joke.
way.
A 3 from Kim Nguyen, no good. DeMar tries to go coast to coast, but gets stripped from Frazier. And Vu back to Frazier at the top. Good defense from DeMar. Wanted the charge, didn't get it. And Nguyen was on the out-of-bounds line. Great hustle from the Bobwhites, forcing a turnover. Dakota Rye gets his first action tonight.
That was, I think that was a decent no call.
Yeah.
On that one. Yeah, I mean, Frazier
for
definitely put the arm out, but there seemed to be a little bit of embellishment from the defender as well. So I'm fine letting that go and keeping play moving.
Yeah, I definitely try to just be a homer, so DeMar doesn't get it, I'm upset.
And as an MVU alum, I mean, I'm not going to give BFA the benefit of the doubt.
You must have had a tough night the other day on the...
Well,
All right. Earl tries to feed it to Rye. No good. Oh. Rye gets it to go at the rim. Great feed from Leach. That all starts with Rye's hustle. Rye is BFA's highest energy player by far. Plays stellar defense for BFA. Pretty close to a travel there as well. Yates fighting over the screen to get back onto
that's a fun matchup.
Zinzu. Rye going over screens, kick out to Vu. His three's up. No good. Richards comes down with a strong rebound, and Bobwhites are pushing in transition. Rye in the corner, no good. Gets a friendly bounce from the top of the rim. Richards able to get it and turns it over. Richards does. Frazier with the steal into two people and turns it over.
That's 3 steals for Frazier tonight. But it's a name we haven't mentioned too much tonight. Seth Richards, scoreless so far, but still with 4 rebounds and 1 assist. So still doing some things. But I feel like we normally say his name a little bit more on the scoring side.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten much action tonight, as I mentioned earlier. He's recovering from the health.
Yeah.
He got hit pretty hard. So as Earl is going to launch another 3 in the corner, a little long. It's going to stay here with the Bobwhites. We've got 1:50 left in the third quarter, and the Bobwhites have a 12-point lead, rocking 34-22. On the season, the Seahorses are averaging 44 points a game, and they're giving up nearly 51.
Well, I mean, props to BFA's defense. Holding them to 22 so far with 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
The Seahorses hasn't really had a player score double digits quite so much.
Yeah, we're going to get, Richards, that was really good help side defense there, but just kind of stopped sliding his feet, Frazier, a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
Richards in a rough spot and his hand reaching in there.
Yeah, I definitely think he was expecting Rye to get back. Got Mr. Marlowe doing a shout out right in our ear. I don't know if anybody has a white iPhone, but if you're watching, come and get it. Flashlight works. Got any interesting updates from the statistical standpoint for us?
Well, DeMar and Earl still the leading scorers here for the game. DeMar with 12, Earl with 11. Also, Earl chipping in 4 rebounds, and Seth Richards and Justin Brown also with 4 rebounds. Burlington, Tommy Vo with 4 points, their leading scorer. Again, their scoring's been really spread out, but no one has really kind of taken over the game.
And A good take by Kim Nguyen. He's going to go to the line, shoot 2. DeMar tried to sneak attack him with a behind-the-back block. No good. I'll try to find the score updates, but SB plays St. Johnsbury tonight. Other good Division I matchups. You got Colchester at MMU, and Essex is at Rice tonight. First one's off the back iron, no good. Earl's going to check back in for DeMar. Burlington this year, their 2 wins have come from Colchester and MMU. Beat MMU by 2 points and Colchester by 12, if I'm not mistaken. Nguyen makes the second free throw to cut the deficit to 11. DeMar, a little flick shot, or excuse me, Rye flick shot, no good, and he's going to fight for that rebound.
BFA is starting a number of their possessions tonight. All 5 guys around the 3-point line. I mean, I was from this vantage point from the stage, I was just looking at how wide open that lane was. Absolutely nobody standing in there.
Well, I think we mentioned it at the top, man. These Metro teams, the help side isn't their main priority. It's more, can we outscore you?
Yep.
But when you play a team that does want to play defense, and as loud as they are, it's tough. I mean, you're not going to score much against BFA. I mean, they don't allow you to score many points. As Frazier kicks out, Nguyen in the corner, gets blocked by Earl. Not very often do you see a player get blocked at the 3-point line.
I was about to note the really good ball movement for Burlington on that one, and a nice swing up the 3-point line. But Noah Earl with that recovery and massive block.
Yeah, the Bobwhites are only allowing 37 points a game this year, and they're scoring roughly 50. And in the lane, a reverse floater, no good, but Dylan Grimm was there to clean it up. I think that might be his second basket tonight. Leach wide open, decided not to take it. He's 0 for 3 from 3 tonight.
Yeah, those, well, and even Earl had an open look, but those are, we're up 9, clock is on our side. Let's let this possession run out a little bit more, especially if, you're under 30 seconds in the quarter as they were.
Good defensive possession by the Seahorses as Horgan is working on a smaller Nguyen, did not get it to fall, or got stripped. And on the second chance, stepped out of bounds. Just 5 seconds here. Frazier uses Grimm's screen at 2 seconds at the buzzer. Gets the friendly bounce, but the friendly bounce goes out.
So an unfriendly bounce.
Yes.
It was a teasing bounce.
I was ready for it to go in. Caught me off guard.
Props for anticipation.
If it went in, I would have looked great.
You sure would.
9-point lead here for the Bobwhites, 34-25. We're going to get a fresh 8 on the clock. And let's see if the Seahorses could swing the momentum.
Well, tough job ahead of them. 9 points, it's not impossible to make up. A lot tougher in high school basketball than it is at other levels. But we saw Burlington hit some 3-pointers in the first quarter, really. So we know they can hit them. A few 3-pointers could change this game, but BFA, I mentioned in the first quarter that I need to see BFA step up their defense, and they certainly have, and have not let Burlington get a lot of open looks. Burlington definitely facing that uphill battle here. Here's let me give everybody what's going on for the rest of the week for our coverage here on Northwest Access TV. Really, just tomorrow, which is Saturday, at 6:30, we'll have girls hockey, Brattleboro at MVU. At 8:45, we'll have boys hockey, Burlington at MVU. And also tomorrow, 1:30, girls basketball, Rutland at BFA. And tomorrow, 7 o'clock, girls hockey, Beekmantown at BFA. So we'll hope you'll join us for these live games we'll have here on Facebook through Northwest Access TV.
And DeMar goes baseline, looking middle, nobody there. Just throws it up to Justin Brown. He's going to drive baseline. Good job using his body. And he's going to get it to fall. And he's going to go to the line and shoot just one here to try to get the old-fashioned three-point play. Everybody's loving it. Definitely, Justin Brown is BFA's best player at using his body to get the exact shot he wants. Slows down his footwork, initiates contact to create space, converts the and one to give BFA a 12-point lead here to start the fourth.
And Brown now has 7 points. I mean, that's the thing. He's a bigger dude that's on the court, but man, is he quick and
slow but fast.
He is very in control and knows what he's doing.
And Nguyen's gonna make the free throw line jumper, and Yates fouled him in the air. Go to the line and try to convert his own and one.
Yates' third personal foul.
Nguyen's starting to get pretty hot here.
He now has 6 points on the night.
And his free throw goes in and out. Leach in the corner. And there's going to be a block on Nguyen.
Justin Brown really coming alive in this second half here. We mentioned 7 points, but also 5 rebounds on the game.
He's averaging on this season 5 points and 4 rebounds a game. So doing this
Right
against
there.
a Metro team,
Yeah.
really impressive and promising for the Bobwhites. Yates in the post. Contorts his body, and he's going to go line, shoot 2 here. Nguyen's going to get his second foul.
That's a tough one. Technically, sure, that's a foul. But, I mean, Yates was just in nowhere close in any kind of position to get a clear shot off.
At all. But I think by the book, I think I heard Menard say, your hands have to be behind your ears. Like straight up behind the ears, or even level. Yates makes that first one. Misses the second. He split both free throws tonight, 2 for 4. Grimm at the top, down screen for Oakley. Grimm's trying to call it, and it's going to be another 5-second call.
And BFA, it's just some, smothering perimeter defense.
It's not very often that you see 5-second calls in high school basketball.
And that could have potentially been the third one of the game, right? There had 2 other opportunities where one they found someone at the last second, but then also the other one forced Burlington to call a timeout. So great defense for BFA out on the perimeter, but also say, at least in this fourth quarter, Burlington has really stepped up their defense, and as McDonald just got away with a shove.
And it's more Burlington, it's their offense, right? It's watching the film, it's just down screens and then a pick and roll with the guy at the top of the key. Nobody's coming up to try and help, but we got to credit the Bobwhites defense. Norrell's going to go to the line, shoot 1 and 1. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors, Northwestern Orthopedics, Collins, Burley Sports and Fitness Center, Barrett Ford, JC Image, and Handy Toyota. If your business would like to be a sponsor for Northwest Access TV sports coverage this winter, please contact 802-782-8676. And Dylan Grimm's going to knock it out of Jay Justin's hands. Bobwhites rolling with an 11-point lead. With 6:14 left to go. Just a reminder, Northwest Access TV is a non-profit organization. If you're enjoying the sports coverage throughout the year, please consider making a donation.
We always have phenomenal support from the community who watches these games, so I would like to thank everybody for watching and also contributing.
Justin Brown's 3, no good. However, Guess who was there? Thomas DeMar.
Now 14 points on the night, leading scorer for both teams.
It's a great putback, and Yates gets his hands in the passing lane. A good risk. Seahorses still have possession. Oakley Sternrose is playing for the Seahorses.
I think they just call a moving screen. They did.
Yeah, on Oakley.
Yeah, that was called on McDonald. That's his second, team's 8th of the second half.
Is it 22 or is it 1? I think it's 22.
Yeah, they got 22 at least up there
Yeah,
on
isn't
the
that
scoreboard.
You're right.
McDonald.
That's my fault. I thought it was Oakley
Gosh,
Sternrose.
stop doubting me, Landon.
I got to get better.
You know, I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
In other words, St. Johnsbury is BFA's next opponent. They'll be playing them on Tuesday, making the 2-hour long and slow and painful bus ride down to St. Johnsbury. I think we're supposed to be getting a blizzard
on Monday. Yep. So, yeah, hopefully the roads are clear.
St. Johnsbury right now is 4-0, second in the Metro standings, and 3-0 against Metro teams. So it'll be a great test for the Bobwhites to see where they're at.
But it's the rule of thumb that whenever you have a long trip to make for a game, there always has to be a blizzard either day of or day before.
And you get to leave school early.
You know, for me, playing at MVU, it was always North Country, right? Like anytime we had to go over the mountain, it had to be a blizzard. It wasn't a North Country game unless there was a blizzard.
And the refs, right?
I won't say anything about that.
Okay. And Niall gets his hands on Noah Earl, tipping out of bounds.
I'll also just say there's a reason I chose to be a commentator rather than a referee. Just a lot fewer people yelling at me when I'm up here on the stage.
And Connor Leach, another missed three. He's going to stay with the Bobwhites as Frazier tried to save it. And I was telling you earlier, the Bobwhites has not made a fourth quarter three this year as Chong Niall gets a block, and DeMar goes right back into Niall. Off the offensive rebound, does not get it to fall. Got 40-27 with 5 minutes left here. Wow, suffocating defense from the Bobwhites.
Niall went in there. He was met by 3 white jerseys.
Yeah.
DeMar Brown and Noah. Fantastic smothering defense.
You know how many hands that was? 6.
6 hands.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary to see for sure. As DeMar cross-court pass to Leach. Finally gets one to fall. And BFA scores their first 3 in the fourth quarter this season. Leach 1 for 5, and this is going to be a travel on Burlington. Wow. BFA's putting the smack down on B-Town tonight.
Sure are. That's the thing. Burlington had their opportunities to cut into this lead, so it's not like Bobwhites have just been running away with this thing the whole night, right? I think about the last possession of the first half when Burlington had the ball, had an opportunity to cut the lead to either 4 or 3, and then what happened is they tried to get the ball into the key, and Noah Earl anticipated it, knocked the ball away. They didn't even get a shot off.
Yeah.
Right? And in the third quarter, Burlington only down by 6, had opportunities to cut in, couldn't do it. Bobwhites, their defense really stepping up since that first quarter. They're outscoring them by 16, but really I think the Bobwhites defense has sort of been the star of this game, just not giving Burlington, any open looks.
And, COVID sucks, we know that. And we were expecting this game to be sloppy because BFA has not played a game in 17 days. They have not practiced in 13 days, or roughly. Where the Seahorses, they haven't had a game in 11 days since the 3rd. So it's just, we're expecting sloppiness. I guess you could say that. for tonight's game, maybe just for the Seahorses. It was rough for the Bobwhites early, but they've come through and they're starting to click.
And you know, I think that's a credit to the players on the floor. That's also a credit to coaching, to Coach Menard, just for having his team ready, right? Like, he didn't have to install any kind of special game plan specifically for Burlington, especially after not playing for 17 days or having practices after 13 days. Team was still ready, and that just comes to practice, and they know what they're doing.
And now it's just playing basketball, right? That was great. That's just a basketball play. You pass, you cut, you give it back to him, and you finish at the rim.
And gives Earl 13 points on the night to go along with his 4 rebounds.
And these guys are playing hard. Like all 3.5 quarters, it's been nonstop, in-your-face defense. Noah Earl on Frazier. Gets it stripped. It's going to be Noah Earl's first steal. We're going to find DeMar in the corner, looking to feed Brown down low. DeMar knifes down the lane. Oh boy, Justin, good kick out to Yates. Drives, tries to dump it down to Brown, gets it stripped. And Miles Yope goes coast to coast. He's going to get fouled. Brown's going to call him down Leach. Play like you have a lead. 3:30 left to play in this Metro contest. And not much here from the Seahorses on the inbounds. .23 is also going to be getting his first action tonight. Oakley Sternrose. That's the real Oakley Sternrose. Got his name right this time.
See, getting better already, pal.
Earl's confronting the refs, telling them to watch this specific Seahorse. Richards checks in, as well as Liam Horgan for Leach and Brown. Got just 3:21 left. We got Frazier at the line, shooting 1 and 1. And does not get that one to fall. Yates comes up with another rebound. At this point, it's just play with the lead and play with possession. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. There's Richards in the lane. It's going to be a timeout for the Bobwhites before Richards put the shot up.
Had Horgan making a nice cut.
Yeah, he did.
Right down the lane. Ball went to Richards instead. But when you're up 18, I suppose you have your choice of what plays.
Yep.
You got to make quite a bit of margin of error, margin for error here. For scoring, leading the night, Thomas DeMar with 14. Noah Earl also with 13 and 4 rebounds, along with a block and a steal. Justin Brown with 7 and 5 rebounds, also has a steal, 2 assists, and a block. Charlie Yates with 6 points and 3 rebounds, an assist and a block. And for Burlington, Kim Nguyen leading his team with 6 points. And then Dylan Grimm and Tommy Vo each with 4.
Burlington, their next contest is going to be tomorrow, actually. They will host Rice at 2:30. That should be another good test for them. See where they're at.
It's worth noting that 9 Burlington players have scored tonight, so scoring has been spread out, but I think part of their problem is
too much spread out.
They don't, when they need a basket, I can't tell you who's their guy that they go to get a bucket to try to turn a game.
When I look at, just to piggyback off that point, when I look at, there's a nice feed down low. Feed. when I look at the Burlington Free Press stats after games, they have like 4 people come up with like 8, 9, 7, 6. It's not like one guy getting 23 or like tonight you got DeMar with 15 and Earl with 13 as Yates coughs it up.
You know, to be honest, it seems like Frazier should be that guy. He seems to be the most involved in every play. And if not scoring, at least facilitating.
Right. Yeah, he seems very shifty being able to get to the rim. It's just the finishing ability is yet to hit midseason for him. But he's been at the line, I think, like 6 times tonight. So he makes that one. 2:25 left to play in the fourth quarter. 45-28. BFA leads. Frazier makes the second one off the front iron. We're getting a full court press here from Burlington.
I mean, you're down a lot. Why not practice it?
Hey, you never know. Basketball is by far a game of runs.
Well, and you know, things like full court press, like you can try to simulate a game in practice, but you're never going to quite get the experience. So, you know, if you're down by so much, and the game's out of hand, like absolutely try to practice things, right, and see how they work in an actual game setting.
Then you would definitely know because you're getting your first coaching game
Oh, I
tomorrow.
sure am. I tell you.
Coaching these 2 and 3-year-olds, that's going to be fun.
3, 4, and 5-year-olds.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. Oh, we're going all the way to states, man. We're going to itty bitty states. That's
awesome.
right. Coaching my 4-year-old son's rec department team in Franklin tomorrow.
Love to hear it.
First practice.
Glad you're giving back. It's awesome.
Well, you know, one of the perks as a dad is you get to share some of the things you love. And, you know, I'm never going to force my kids to love the same things that I do. They're their own people. They can have their own interests. But
they're going to love
it's super
basketball.
fun when they love something that you also love.
Yeah, they're going to love basketball. You'll make sure.
My son is already an Orlando Magic fan. So,
oh, no, get him out.
You know, he's had a cushy life so far. He needs to know a little pain. At least he can join his father in that.
Well, I can say that the Bulls are good now.
Bulls are back, baby.
Yep.
Bulls are back. And, you know, my guy Vooch, Nikola Vucevic, Magic legend, I gotta pull for him the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's something for sure. We're going to get some fresh bodies checking in for the Bobwhites with 1:20 left. Johnny Ireland, Zach Reese, James Harrison, Tanner Smith, and Isaac Gratton. Good time to practice, get some game time. Burlington's also going to check in Mohamed Moji. Moji. Tanner Smith commits the turnover. Who's getting your game player of the game for today?
Yeah, you know, that's
not handed out any shirts, unfortunately, but still good topic of discussion.
I think I'd give it to Noah Earl. He seems to have a good kind of all-around stat sheet tonight here with 13 points, 4 rebounds, assists, and a block. You know, Justin Brown, certainly not the highest scoring guy on the floor tonight, but he has a great stat line here. 7 points, 5 rebounds, a steal, 2 assists, and a block. That's a very all-around game for him.
And you got to think about the defensive matchup, too. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had to guard Dylan Grimm, who's their big, not very tall, but definitely bulky for sure. And he grabbed a ton of rebounds for the Seahorses tonight.
But I think ultimately I give it to Noah Earl.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with DeMar.
Yeah, DeMar also had a great game, 14 points, 8 of them in the first quarter alone.
And Burlington getting some quick buckets here, 45-32 with 43 seconds left. Johnny Ireland getting trapped in the backfield. And Zach Reese is going to get called with the backcourt violation.
I'm not sure he ever got in the front court, though.
Yeah, I thought he had a foot in both sides.
I mean, it was, either way, it was about to be a 10-second call anyway.
Yeah.
So,
It's a good lesson to be learned. Grattan, good defense. Way to use his body instead of his hands. Ball's going to go off him, though. Tristan's telling his guys, game's not done. Definitely coming out with a win, but
it's, we mentioned this earlier in the game. The real test for BFA is always seeing how they do against some of these Chittenden County teams. And man, they have looked fantastic. So, you sort of start to wonder, like, what's the ceiling for this team? It's a high one. I certainly think they got a chance to make a run to Patrick this year.
well, I'll just say it one last time before we got 1 second left on the clock. That Burlington needs to figure out the help side defense.
Yep.
Like Isaac Grattan, first time checking into the game, just went right down and scored a bucket. Right through, dived right down into the heart of the defense and scored a basket. Fun game. They cut out the score real quick, but it was 47-32. Bobwhites come away with their 4th win of the season. They're definitely going to be climbing up in the Metro standings. Definitely going to jump Burlington here as they move to 2-4. But because they were so high, because they have Metro wins under their belt. So the scoring leaders, Noah Earl, DeMar, and Brown led the way for the Bobwhites. For Burlington, it was John Niall, Kim Nguyen, and really is spread out from the rest of the crew. But super fun game. Thanks for joining Bryce Batchelder and Landon Pavin on the call tonight. Peace.